So welcome, Shifu. Thank you so much for accepting this invitation. I know how busy you are, and it's really a big honor for me to be again in your presence and to touch the essence which you embody after a lifelong Shaolin arts practice. So it's a pleasure to taste a little bit of this fruit of wisdom which you bring. And I would like to first of all ask you, what comes to your heart and to your mind when you connect with this word, essence?
So even if when I practice my Shaolin arts, let's say, in the very beginning, it has been very, very physically demanding always. So my focus was, of course, like training the body, getting faster, getting more stamina, everything very, very much physical related. But after some time when I spent in this area, of course, then you also get the influences or the ideas that there must be something more than just like to the physical body, than just to learning one form after another. Yeah, there are so many forms existing, for example, that we learn in this system. And I just started asking myself the question, okay, what's the point of learning all the forms if none of these forms has some type of depth? So, and this depth, this is for me very, very similar, like saying you can practice as many forms and movements as you like. If none of them has the essence inside, well, then it's maybe nice to look at them, but something is just missing. So that means essence for me is something in many different layers. That also you can access in different, let's say, in different ways. I think if you ask different people, everybody has a different idea of what the essence for him or her is. But they all have something in common, because normally essence, you cannot see it. It's nothing that can be seen. It's nothing that maybe is in the world of a superficially based view. Essence is something more deep. Essence is something with more substance. Essence is something related also to the source of what is it that is allowing life for us humans, that is allowing life for like all the plants over there. This is all for me like a part of what is essence. Yeah, I mean, it's such a huge area, but it's this type of direction. So what is it that is fueling your daily life? What is it that is like fueling and giving you motivation actually to go out in the world and meet people? What is your main basic driver? This can also be like an essence. Yeah.
Thank you. So I was wondering, like, you speak so much and so many really important things. You talk about principles, you talk about values, you talk about qualities which we can master within ourselves. I was just wondering if you could like essentially explain what is your main message you are trying to give across to all of us in your teachings.
There are many guidelines, values, virtues in a way which are like have been written down and passed on from generation to generation. Okay, so but somewhere along the line, when I started like growing up, when I also realized I'm also getting older, just looking at my own life, let's start like this. I started to do the training because I think if your body has some type of performance, it's useful. Because if I would like to go hiking on one of the hills over here, there's no way to hike them without some type of physical vitality. So health and a strong body anyway was my interest. This is then where people ask me, but how do you develop the strength of your legs? How to develop the strength of the upper torso? And I can only share what I have. So the only thing that I was doing is, I just said what I think was useful for me, maybe it's useful for you, on the physical level. But at the same time also, realizing along the line that it's not everything only about physicality, that it's also about sometimes, I don't know, you have discussions, you have conflicts, you see something in the world that is like, that in the way you don't like, regardless of you say, yeah, but we shouldn't judge. But the fact is, you look out in the world, there are things you don't like.
Yes.
So, and so the realization, okay, also to figure out what does it actually do with myself and with my quality of life if I continuously wake up, just see problems everywhere, and in the evening go to bed. Then it just feels, for me, it feels like a wasted day. So that means on the long run, this couldn't have been the solution in terms of which type of perspective to have in looking out in the world. And now here comes the point where you can use different type of guidelines, different type of virtues. For example, practice to have a little bit more compassion, train yourself that you have a little bit more patience, train yourself to be a little bit more thankful for the things that you have, you know. And by trying these out on myself, I just realized, okay, actually in a way it's working. So I feel the benefit of my own teachings, let's say, the most. And the only thing that I'm doing is, if people are asking me, I only share with them what I think was working for me. Okay? So that means there is no message in a way, let's say precisely what I would like to spread out. It's just that for everything there's a solution. And the question is only if you have like the key sometimes to solve that problem. Okay? And this is where I think it's very valuable to sometimes meet people in all different type of areas that sometimes have this key. Okay? And that's why, for example, even if I'm like primarily coming from the area of martial arts at the end, but meanwhile, you know, I have a lot of people, know a lot of friends that also are in the field of like healing, energy massage, all of these things. It's nothing that I know too much about, but I still think everybody has somehow his or her place, okay? So as long as somewhere I feel the essence which is fueling each one of them is like the proper essence. And that proper essence for me is that it comes from the same source. And this is the ultimate place at the source where we are connected, or where this connection for me is being established. Because right now it's very clearly, okay, you sit on that chair, I sit on this chair, that is in this type, there is no connection. The connection is on another level.
Yes.
The question is only if people who are walking in this world, if they have this type of mindset, that type of seed inside themselves, to realize what is the essence. So, and the deeper something like enters into the mind, into your being, yeah, I think the more closer, or the more immersive this connection becomes.
Yes. And also your teachings, I feel like they bring a lot of tools to increase the quality of existing, the quality of experiencing this life and lifestyle. So that's also what I feel it's valuable. In one of your interviews, you've been saying that you perceive some kind of a split within you, in your monastery, and in the world in general. You talked about New World Order, I would say, that somebody called it that way. Do you mind to stretch a little bit about that? What is that change you see, and yeah, and how do you experience that?
So sometimes the titles of all the videos that are on YouTube, I have no influence on the titles sometimes, okay? Because sometimes they fit quite well, sometimes also me, I'm thinking, okay, let's accept it like this. Okay, so just like as a side effect. So but that particular video that you were mentioning, I really think I was just speaking out what I feel going on inside of myself. Yeah, so very, very simply said, yeah. Because, you know, change, anyway, we have the change happening all the time. All the time, all the time. Just sometimes in your lifetime, you realize the change, but it doesn't have a big impact on yourself. Because you are still like comfortable where you are, you feel the change, but it still doesn't shake too much about you. Okay, but sometimes can also happen that you have different influences coming, or different impacts, or different situations, different experiences, or different memories where you also like see on the one side, somehow everything is repeating. And for me, I think when this video was published, I just felt that things are repeating on the one side, okay, and I started to become tired of it. Okay, so that means already for myself I have decided
Beautiful one.
that there is no way to just remain where I am. So for me, definitely inside of myself, I would like to embrace the change. That's why I just spoke it out. Now, that what I spoke out sometimes just resonates with the people who listen to it. It's also not because the word is somehow different, it's because the right people with the right energy that also feel something must change. That's why they feel it's resonating. That's why we think it's really going on out there. It's not going on out there, it's going on here. Because this has changed, this is going to change. Okay, and yeah, that is just in short now why we actually came to this type of video, what I mentioned.
So what do you feel would be like first step for a human being towards that change which needs to happen? We all feel it intuitively, the change which is happening, and where is it going somehow, I believe. That's what we are touching here. So what in your feeling would be the first step towards that for everyday life for a human being?
I think it would be good to introduce that term of awareness. What it practically means. If you live a life with awareness, or you live a life without awareness. Now, everybody lives with awareness. Just some are conscious about it, some know about it, and actively integrate it into the way of living, and others, the awareness is just like it's a byproduct, but they don't take it too much into consideration. But the awareness, this is something which should be placed at the priority list very, very high. Because it's like the first step would be, if people ask, what does it mean, awareness? What do you mean? Let's say, rethink before you talk is one type of awareness. They're still thinking, okay, but before you speak out, just whatever, be aware of what you're speaking out. Be aware of what you are doing, physical-wise. Be aware of where you are stepping. That would be like another area. There are many areas where you can use this awareness. It only means the more this awareness is there, the less life seems to be a coincidence. Okay? Because the more aware you are, the more connection you see. The more connection you see, the more sense things start to make for you. And out of seeing this connection, out of that, suddenly things start to make sense. And out of all of this, I think that naturally arises a way of living which, if you go it all the way, can only lead to, it's a harmonic way of living. Without telling anybody what to believe in and who to pray to, not talking about any of this. Just by opening up the mind and just becoming a little bit more aware of what is connected to what and how is it interrelated. And when you start to see more of these things, then it's pretty obvious that it's not a coincidence.
So what would be a secret of harmonious relationships between people? Not only lovers, not only friends and family, like in general. Can you touch that? What would be that secret of it?
I don't know, let's say what, I don't know what, or if I would call it a secret. But let's say I can only speak from my community, or let's say my brotherhoods, for example, inside the temple. And there it's just like this. We know that each one of us has different strengths and different weaknesses. Nevertheless, because we are regarding ourselves as brothers, if one fails, then of course the other ones just make sure to cover him, to lift him up. So the other ones are there. It doesn't matter. Everybody will fail somehow. Some people are strong enough. They can carry themselves, lift themselves up again. And if you have a brotherhood or a sisterhood or a community even, where everybody has this idea of, okay, like he just failed, he just suffered, he just have problem, let's help him. So, and everybody has this type. So everybody wants the other person to grow.
Beautiful.
This is like, doesn't matter what type of relationship it is.
Yes.
If you have a relationship where you like the other person to stay small, it's stamped for, it's not going to work. Yeah. So this is the general mindset wherever you are. If you want people to grow, I think this is to expand, to go beyond themselves, to become larger than themselves at the moment, in all areas of life. No matter who you are meeting, I think if you try somehow, what can I do to bring out the best of you? What can I do to bring out the best of another person? Sometimes you can do nothing, then you just know, okay, maybe it's not my job, somebody else will be the proper key. But the general idea is like this. That's why we have these workshops, we have these things to share out. People who resonate, they resonate, and who doesn't, they will find somebody else, something else where they will resonate.
Thank you. Wow, beautiful answer. I really resonate with that one. I would like to ask you, because I don't know if I introduced that I'm a big lover of lucid dreaming therapy, to stay conscious also within a dream realm. So I would always ask my guests about the dream and the relationship with dreams, if you have any, and do you sometimes have lucid dreams? Do you practice?
Okay. I heard about these areas existing. I really think I don't know too much about it to be able to speak in that field. The only thing I realize about myself is when I'm sometimes dreaming, First of all, some of the dreams I don't remember the next day. This is one type that happens. Some dreams I remember.
Yes.
When I know that dreams are repeating on a regular basis, I try to look at the essence, at the meaning that would come up for me. Why this type of constellation in the dream? Okay, and then I just ask myself, is there something in my life which is still like unprocessed? As long as it is a dream which is like disturbing for me. If it's a nice dream, then I just keep it.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
yes.
so that is like the main thing. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, that's what I do as well. I feel like this subconscious is speaking in so many different languages, and one of them is our dreams, and that way we can become more aware of what's happening inside and outside of ourselves. What is your favorite quote of Tao Te Ching, which you feel like it's guiding your life? Do you have any like that?
It's not necessarily from the Tao Te Ching, but one of them that I also shared a lot in the past is, there are two mistakes along the way. The first of all, not starting it, and the second of all, not going all the way. Yeah, and I think not starting relates to what? I think open the awareness. Open the mind for what else is there existing. What else is there to explore. So the first step is explore. And the second one is just don't stop to explore. And it's a quite nice one. Yeah.
So I have a last question for you. If tomorrow would be your last day on this planet, in this body, what would you choose to do?
What would I?
What would you choose to do on the last day of your life here on this planet? How it would look like, if you are mine to share.
I mean, look, right now I'm in Kopangan. Just had a workshop with many participants. Feeling very exhausted after the training. Still looking forward for the food which is going to come afterwards. Then have the possibility also, I mean, to go later at the beach. And nothing gives me the guarantee. Nothing. I don't have a guarantee knowing if I wake up tomorrow.
Yes.
So meaning, even if somebody now, the doctor would come and tell me tomorrow morning you will not wake up again. Yeah, okay. But I would still do the same stuff that I am doing at the moment. Let's say like this. Yeah. So it's not like if somebody would say you only have like one more day to live, so then I would now choose to go to another country or to other people, or I don't know. I wouldn't probably. I feel very fine where I am right now. And this is always what I also remind myself again.
It's a good one.
Yeah, not the past, not the future, it's now. So, yeah, but still like big topics still, but maybe it really helps that from different areas of people. Like I said, I come from the field of martial arts, but I think that the martial art is also like a really, really helpful and beneficial way of introducing this part of the awareness to other areas of people that you in your community maybe cannot reach directly. I can reach them, and vice versa. As long as the essence of the people who like do these things is a proper one. So, and therefore I think it's very nice meeting people along the way.
Great, thank you. There is this amazing movie called Samsara. Have you seen it?
Yes.
It's about a monk who is going to have a family life because he believes that before he tastes the family life, he cannot truly renounce it, because we only can truly renounce something which we already been attached to. And at the end of this movie, there's this quote or this question about how to stop a drop of water from drying out. Do you know the answer? Do you remember that?
Yeah. Bring him back to the ocean.
Yes, throw it into the sea. Yeah. And also I believe and feel that you're sharing your essence with us, and your wisdom you may make it survive within our hearts, within our souls, and hopefully in our daily practice. So thank you so much for being that drop of water who came to us to share your essence. That's really great. I appreciate.
You're welcome.
And have a lovely day. Stay in Kapanga. Thank you. We got it. High five.